Welcome to a technical technician series of videos from Diagnation. Basically, we're going to call this the ultrasonic testing with a scope. What we have here, as you see across the screen, we have 3 channels going across. This is live. We got number 1 fuel injector, we got number 1 ignition trigger, and the blue channel is sound. It's basically picking up the engine sound now. This is kind of an intro. I'll explain everything. I'll shut the car off and we'll talk about how we're set up so we know the specifics of what everything we're using here. And I'm going to move the, you can obviously different stuff happening. We're going around, basically everything will make sense during the course of these videos. This is just an intro. You can see a lot of blue. That's what the sound. Okay, right there. Okay. I will shut everything off and we'll explain what's going on here. It will make sense. Let me stop the scope and we'll get everything set up. We can see what's going on. This is the... Okay. Alrighty. Okay. This is the Infocon Whisperer. This is the equipment we're using. It is a ultrasonic tester. Kind of looks like a vacuum cleaner. Just basically, it's got an audio jack on the side. It's powered by 2 D batteries, and it is moderately priced. There's others out there. I have this one got good reviews. I've had good luck with it so far. I'm still learning the technology, and basically what we look at here is the tool. Is the Infocon Whisperer, which is right here. This is the model. There's the audio jack on the side. It has 2 kind of peripherals that work with it. During the course of this video, I will refer to this as the snout. That's a rubber piece that goes on the top of it that I will place in close proximity to many different things during these series of videos. And it picks up ultrasonic sound. It is super sensitive. This piece here is the contact probe. I will refer to that as basically the contact probe. That threads into the top of the tester. That's when I want to physically touch a component to see what it looks like as far as sound. There is a speaker right here. That is, you're going to hear, that's a USB speaker hooked to the Whisperer. We have a little bit of a 3-way. Don't take that out of context, between the Infocon Whisperer, the scope, and the speaker. You can take a little snapshot of that. I'll explain how that's done. Basically, it involved the audio jacks, cables, and I spliced into over here. That's where I did some soldering and put some double stack 4mm banana adapters so I could hook to the scope, power and ground, and so we can sort of tether the ultrasonic tester to the speaker so you can hear what's going on during these videos, and you can see what's going on the scope. So you're going to see sound and hear sound in unison. Don't sell short headphones. I won't be using headphones, but if you go in this route with this technology, get yourself a pair of good quality headphones and you'll be able to hear probably better than anything at the various different sounds this thing makes. I'll just point out something here. This is just a piece of foam I use. That's kind of cut out, conforms. That's Laney. I think I call it Laney foam or some kind of Kaizen foam. It's a special foam I got for building stuff to conform to the shape of your tools, and I'll use that if I ever want to lay this ultrasonic tester down and free my hands up for it to touch or listen to something in close proximity. Let me start the engine and we'll talk about what normal sound is. Just normal sound the naked ear or the human ear can hear compared to what the ultrasonic tester can hear. You hear the engine idling, kind of record that sound throughout the course. You get a kind of a baseline of this normal sound. The engine's got 250,000 miles on it. No outstanding sounds that I can hear. Maybe if the valve adjustment is decent on it, it probably could be hair splitter or better, but nonetheless I have good fuel control. I have good vacuum. We will look at various different things through the course of these videos: relays, airflow, vacuum leaks, pressure leaks, things like that. So anyway, we will kind of start out this first video looking at kind of like engine performance sounds. And what I do, I'll go to the scope, and I will start the scope. We are hooked to, we have 3 channels. The blue channel is sound. The red channel is ignition trigger for coil 1. And the gold, the mustard channel, the 4 channel, the D channel is the injector for 1. So I will hook this snout up, as I said, the black snout to the tool. Can't see it, but I'm doing it in the backdrop. And plugging it in, starting it up, to make sure we'll do kind of a test run. You should be able to hear the speaker, that USB speaker in the background. I will start the scope and kind of just get a general. We're triggered on B, on the red guy. There we go. You see the trigger, and let's kind of just kind of wave. I'm waving it across the engine. You can see various different sounds it's picking up. I'm about maybe 5 inches from the engine. It does have an enhanced sound. I'm near the injectors now. Those are fuel injectors, and you can see we got 4 of them there. Okay. Then I'm going to push it down on the valve cover. And basically, we're pretty quiet. I'm going to go in 6 different spots on the valve cover, both sides. And you can see that. Go to the front of the timing chain. Nothing really sticking out, nothing obvious. You can see that. Okay, I'm pulling away. That's just a hand check. I'm just doing my thumb deal. Okay. Basically, the first thing I want to do is right here, and then we'll stop the scope and kind of analyze. I want to listen to something that I guess we call it the corona snap, or a snap of the spark from the coil hitting the plug. And I will go on. I will start out on channel on ignition coil 1, and you'll hear something on here. I'm just going to do one, and you'll see it, and you'll hear it also. You'll hear this sound. I'm not going to touch the ignition coil, but I'm going to get about a 1/4 inch from it and see what happens. You hear that snapping? Okay. All right, pull it away. I will stop the scope and stop the car, and we'll analyze it and talk about it. Okay. So let's go back and take a look at what we were doing. Okay, and this is the spot. Okay, right here. I'll start here. You can see what we got is that is the red is the trigger for the coil, okay, from the PCM, and the blue is the sound it made. And I did not make physical contact with the coil. That's how sensitive this thing is. It was picking up the sound, sort of the corona sound you hear. I mean, obviously the ultrasonic tester can hear and amplify to the point where we can hear it through a speaker. But there's the injector there, and that's pretty cool. So we got to think about where we're going to use this diagnostically. It's so many different ways. The sky's the limit about certain ways that this will add to our diagnostic arsenal. But nonetheless, that's an ignition snap from the number 1 coil. I will start the scope, and I'm going to deal with injection. I'm triggered, so we're not seeing anything. I haven't reached. I got it. I will start the car. Okay. Now we're going to start the tester. Now I'm going to concentrate on fuel injection. We'll test there. Okay. I'm going to put the snout close to fuel injector 1. There. Pull it away. You did hear that. And I'll stop the car, and we'll kind of analyze it. Okay, so let's roll it back and see what we got here. Okay, you see that hash right there? That's let me filter that, and we'll kind of get a better look at it. Oh, we are filtered. Okay. Nonetheless, okay, you can see that. Let me not over filter it. Okay, basically that's our sound of the fuel injector. You can see that the ultrasonic tester picking that up. And that was fuel injector 1, and that's just listening to the fuel injector. What we're going to do, you can see that in correct order. I'm going to do something. I'm going to switch to the contact probe and see what that looks like. And I will kind of go from a specific injector to the middle of the fuel rail to get all the injectors. So I'm switching out the snout, the black snout, and I'm putting on the contact probe and screwing it in. Okay. Now we're gonna start the car. You may hear some background noise just because this is so sensitive. Okay. Now I will touch the number 1 injector instead of actually listening to it, and we'll see what we get. You see that, you hear that, I'm speaking. I'm pulling it away. And I will go back and we'll analyze that. And you can see, obviously, now we got a pretty good representation right there. That's our sound. Maybe a little latency for sound and electronics, but there's the injector 1. There's the sound, and you can see it's always exaggerated. It's picking up the others, but more so the most one, the most amplitude is the one we were touching. That is injector number 1. So we'll have to think about throughout all this presentation. We have to think about where this can help us. I don't want to just go down a road of Rube Goldberg testing. We want to think about pragmatism and where this can enhance our diagnostic arsenal when we're using a scope, or not even just using a scope, just using our ears for engine noises and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a situation. I'm going to put a resistor. I want to create a situation where one of our injectors is less than normal. And what I will do all right, bear with me, folks. All right. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the car rolling, and I'm going to put the snout on the center of the fuel rails. I want to get all the injectors to see if I had an issue. I will increase the time base a little bit, and I will put the contact probe in the middle of the fuel rail, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, there we go. Now we're in the middle of the fuel rail, and we're triggered on injector 1. What I'm going to do now, you're going to see it on the run, I'm going to create some resistance in the number 4 injector circuit, and we're probably going to get an occasional misfire. So let's see what the sound wave looks like when the number 4 injector loses some voltage. Okay, it's skipping on 4. Now that cylinder comes back. There it is. You can probably hear the cadence of the engine. It's there. It's gone away. Take a look at that. And it's coming back, and we'll shut everything off and analyze. That's normal now. Running on all 4 cylinders. Okay. All right. Pulling everything away. Stopping the scope. Stopping the car. Okay, let's kind of go back and analyze, and you could see something. Can we see, right, okay, here we go. This is injector Injector 4 now. Let's think about this. Here's 1, 3, 4, 2. I'm sorry, it's 4, 1. This is 1, 3, 4, 2. Obviously, we were missing 4. You can see that that's when that injector went away. You can see, so we had some voltage drop at that. You've seen that in one of my other videos some months ago, but just think about that. We got a pretty good visual on an injector not working optimally. You can see that right there. That's the one that's got the excessive resistance. I will roll it back, and you can see that I probably could have amp clamped this, but nonetheless, you get the idea. You've seen that there's a definite difference in well, that's 1 right there. But let's take a look. Okay. There's the 1 injector, and okay, this is probably good to where it's running on all cylinders. Let's get to a spot again. Okay, so we can say this is 1, 3, 4, 2. There's slight differences, but no outstanding anomalies. And let's get to where we start to see an anomaly, where it's obvious. Okay. Okay. All right, now we're seeing something. Okay, here's injector 1. Okay, 1, 3, 4, and then 2. You can see how 2 is less. So that took it drew less current, and it didn't work as well as the others. Think about in a diagnostic modality, we would use this if we had a misfire or we had an injector circuit code or something along those lines. So anyway, this is just this is the end of part 1. I'll come back with more, and anyway, thanks for watching, and take care.